All right, how we doing today? First ride of 2026, my old KLR there. All right, kind of a real special place. I'll give you a scenic look of some Cheyenne River Valley, okay? How about it? I think you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you like them trees. Got the birds singing in the background. Try and be quiet so you can hear them. This property used to be owned by the family that I grew up in, okay? So, really amazing piece of pasture land that I know very, very well. And now owned and operated by a friend that I grew up with in the same area. And I have done some work for him on this property as well, fixing fence and working cattle and such. So there's the Cheyenne River Valley. That's River Road that goes into my hometown there. So way over there, we'll head right down into the valley. I'll show you a place called Foss Park. We'll get down there on River Road. You can just barely see it. A little ribbon right there in the middle of the valley. And that goes up to Bald Hill Dam. Let's go take a look at it. Why not? That's kind of hard to get my mind around. You know, I used to ride year round, so way back in my younger days, by no means was the end of May my first motorcycle ride. Way back in the warm winters, it usually occurred on January 1st. Was my first ride of the year. Anyway, all right, let's get out on the road and go see the dam and the lake. These pine trees as way older than me. Of course, we would come up and visit a certain family members up here that lived and owned this place as well. And these trees were here the same size back in 1975. Would have been my earliest childhood memories of coming up to this place where the house would have been located right there. That's long gone, many years ago. Time reclaims everything, you know. All right, there we have it. Okay, we'll just take a quick look of Foss Park here. We've got canoe access. There's a little bit of a dam that dams up the river right there. You can actually shoot the rapids in your kayaks if you want to do something crazy like that. Not a big deal. We'll get a better look at that one of these days. This, like so many of these cute little parks out here in North Dakota, actually used to be a farmstead. This was a homestead. And yeah, the name of the park is named after the people that owned this little farmstead here, right off of River Road. And another farmstead over yonder that way, down here on the Cheyenne River Valley. Really beautiful land. All right, let's keep moving along. Let's go look at Lake Ashtabula and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm totally disclosing my location. Don't give a damn anymore. It'll be fun, right? There you go, Bald Hill Dam right there. Believe it or not, back in the 80s, we had public access to the entire walkway on the top. Of course, that world no longer exists for obvious reasons. So here we are. So this is just the 2026 version of this video. I did this video a year ago. All right. You can pause all that stuff out and read all about it. It was a flood control project by obviously the Corps all across the country and other states and everything. You can see all kinds of these projects all over the place. So there you have it. A lot of pelicans in this part of the country too. They play on the rivers and lakes whenever they can. Yeah, years ago I used to have some friends that I would ride with on occasion. I even led a tour group up here to this location way back in the day when we'd have bikers come, motorcyclists come from all across the country. And they'd tour the whole eastern side of this state. So I'd hang out with them and camp with them every once in a while. Long time ago. Now I ride alone. I talk about that on other videos. All right, let's probably go see the rec area over there. And I'll wrap this up, okay? Okay, once again, the rec area. We do have some people up here and keep them off camera. Little tourist information building right there. And a bunch of rentals down there. Other side of the lake. Across from the dam. So the dam is straight over that way. All right. Go look at another nice pasture owned by the same operator, I think anyway. And I'll end the video off over there, okay? Okay, so not a very good view of this pasture. Basically, every bit as beautiful as you've seen already when I give you those far away Cheyenne River Valley shots. I think I'll end the video over there at more of our campground areas, which are literally breathtaking. I mean, just exactly like anything that you would find in Minnesota or Wisconsin or all of the famous, really beautiful lakes and forest lands in those other states, you know, that would just be amazing. We have all that right here. One of North Dakota's best secrets, okay? So yeah, all this is natural trees, you know, down in the river valley area. So we'll get a good view of the lake and everything. This pasture, same operator that I mentioned before, owns this. I've helped actually fix this fence. Little Red and I have actually fixed fence around this pasture and all around that pasture. And I actually had helped move cattle across this road right here. I actually brought some of my net wire and made a temporary lane for cattle crossing. So all kinds of stuff like that I've helped out with over the years. Let's cover the legendary KLR 650. This is a 2003 model. So I bought it brand new in 2003. So you can find these all over YouTube. They're very world famous. They got a real cult following. Yes, that is the first generation, older generation that you can find lots of YouTube videos on that. Some guys riding them way beyond 100,000 miles and decades and decades of ownership, you know. So there you have it. And my main motorcycle used to be a Kawasaki Concours. And that's the bike that I was famous for riding. So yeah, I used to ride with groups. I used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Iron Butt Association badge that you see there on the windshield. I did earn that riding with the group. You had to document You had to document your ride. So that particular membership I earned by riding 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours. So we actually did a little more. I think we did like 1,100 miles in just under 24 hours. Documented and all that stuff. So yeah, used to ride with some real hardcore motorcycles. So there you have it. My IBA license plate badge, and then I got a sticker on the windshield. So there you go. It is what it is. Well, let's go look at the campgrounds and the lake and all that, and we'll wrap her up. Okay, I think you've seen enough of the lake already. You get the idea. Big, beautiful lake. This basically would just be River Valley Forest. You know, that's all natural growth trees. You can see we just about got everything out here. A lot of ponderosas even. And you can see that the ponderosas are growing wild. They're growing wild out here in this area. Now that could be because they were planted and then, you know, they're just reseeding. I've seen that happen in other parts of the state. They're reseeding and themselves, you know, from being planted many years ago. So there you are. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm Dead Wolf. I'm out. You know it, this kind of fun on the next one. KLR doing pretty good today. I already talked about the KLR and everything. I was worried about my battery, but I think I'd just let this old horse sit just a little bit too long. But I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens within these next few days on this battery. I either have a bad battery or I just let it sit way too long. But I'm not worried about it on this trip. Seems to be doing just fine. And with that, we'll close everything out. Thanks for being there, cousins and friends. And now you know what part of the country I'm in exactly. Kind of, sort of. You know, it's all good. Take care out there.